What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday afternoon to all of you. Trade deadline day, a lot of big moves that we will be talking about. We'll be breaking down the final 8 games on the card, as well as the one WNBA game. And I did make a move on the over in the WNBA game. It was trending towards the under on the morning show, a nice sharp move back to the over, and I jumped in. My book, 152.5, but Bet Online was hanging at a 151.5, so that was going to be the official pick for the show. It's the Bet Online number, but I got it at 152.5 and minus 110. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. We got Flick My Bick says in the black this afternoon. Let's go Yankees bats. Wake up late. What else is new? 0 runs through 7 in the Rockies game. Thank God I don't touch those totals anymore. I don't know WTF is going on there. We have Vinny Cornell. Sebastian Arnold, our guy Sebastian, said called the Greinke to Astros on the morning show, by the way. Hope everyone plays some World Series bets. As you may imagine, those are off the board. The Astros look extremely dangerous. We'll go over all of those moves here on the show. Derek Tucker says Stros won the World Series today. Alex Ramirez, Spidey play of the day will be in business. Trot Wham! We got Trot Wham in the house. Alex Ramirez, Walla Walla Dose. Jay Peach says, sorry, baseball. Houston Astros. So last year, they make no giant trade deadline move. Year before, they pick up Verlander and win the World Series. Is that what is going to happen again this year? Looks very possible. Lance LaRose in the house. C-Dom Terrell Goodman the day after celebrating his birthday. Paul Sargent back in action. Says, what up, Jimmy? Haven't been on for a while. Nice to be back. Nice to have you back, Paul Sargent. Jim Foreg ready to go. Hako Schofield says Astros will win it all. Daryl Lyles, Coco Bongo, Pink Eye Genie says fade my Diamondbacks. Von Polo on Indiana Fever first half. Interesting. I will copy and paste Von Polo's WNBA action right there and add it to the WNBA section down here. Thank you for sharing that, Von Polo. We are going to go over all that good stuff. And the chat gave me a winner yesterday, and it was very needed. Russell Gordy says, Astros world champs, book it. Big guy Bubba in the house. And Guillermo, I saw that, and I watched the race. Said that horse got bought down to 3-5, made chump change, but let's flip it on Delmar's third race, number 2, call you tomorrow at 9-2. Oh, wow. When does that go off, Guillermo? So that horse, Guillermo, that was the type of situation when Guillermo gives you a favorite at 5-2. That's when you lock it in on at a sports or at an online book rather than bet the tote, because that went down to 3-5. Guillermo was on one easily. Nice job. All right, Jeremy Miller ready to go. Chris IG, Brian Watson after celebrating his birthday. Coco Bongo said I'm on my 7th beer and up 2 units. Should I quit while I'm ahead? Never. Bookie Lover Q ready to get to work. Captain 24/7 says Dodgers shake my head. Aaron may be ready to get to work. Viper NB says, what's good? David Stewart, man, it's been a long time. Nice. We got some OG low baggers in action. Paul Sargent, David Stewart. I love it. And Guillermo says, going off in 30 minutes. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do this while I'm on the show, but Guillermo knows what he's talking about. A 9-2 shot in 30 minutes at Del Mar. Wow. So I would jump. Oh, and Terrell Goodman said, ended my birthday yesterday with a broken hand. Hope everybody's doing better than me. No, Terrell. I don't like hearing that, but it sounds like you were partying very hard, which I like. Del Mar, third race, goes off in 30 minutes. The number 2, call you tomorrow at 9-2. Call you tomorrow at 9-2. Nats Nate said, glad I took the run line on them Nats. I can't believe the Nats lost. So I started my day 1-2. Sadly, 1-2. Sorry, let's just go over my early action. Bookie Lover Q says, so many old baseball heads mad about the fight last night in Cincinnati. In my opinion, baseball got to keep that edge like hockey. Just wondering your thoughts, Bookie Lover Q. Yeah, I like it. Why not add some excitement to the game? Why not see some real hate? How could that hurt? I don't see how that could hurt. Now, I don't want to be seeing 95-mile-per-hour pitches whizzing by people's heads, but that's old-time baseball, and that's where it started. They've already taken out the shortstop or second baseman on the double play. They've taken that out of the game. You can't run over catchers anymore. Let's keep something to feed that what's in us. I mean, come on. When there's a fight in hockey, what happens? You stand up and your eyes go wide and you watch every second of it. Let's keep people honest. Let's punch people in the face. That's what I think about it. Okay. Steve Corderos have got Yanks live plus 156 down 3-2. Great job. Chad Cannon says, in this soft world, baseball fights are all we got. I like that. That's well put. That's well put. Well put. Brian Watson, the Nats, anything good? Man, the Nats, how did they not win that game? I thought for sure once we got to that bullpen, we were going to be in business. And no. So this is how I start off my day. Nationals plus 118, a loss. Pirates team total over 3.5, loss. And then I hit the under in Blue Jays Royals, full game under 10 and minus 108. So that takes care of business a bit. So 1 and 2 need to get after it on this late card. Before we break down this late card, and before we talk about all the movement that has happened in MLB today, let me grab it here. Everything that's going on today. Two big things. One, obviously, Miami. Daryl Lyles in the chat. Daryl Lyles, I can't find you on Twitter, and I want to be able to just know like when you're flying in so we can help hook up. We want to pick as many people up as we can from the airport. So anyone coming to Miami, let me know. And if you're deciding on whether to make the move, do it. Here is the link for Miami. Man, it just keeps getting better and better and better. I'm so excited that the last additions have been Babano and Ski Profit and Trot Wham. I mean, these are just guys that are so much fun to hang out with and cap with and party with. There it is. There's the link. There is the link. And Mally Mal saying Greinke to Astros. Wild. Just wild stuff. We're going to go over all those moves here shortly. And then secondly, the Beat the Bag contest this Saturday and next Saturday. Cap with us. Big Ragu, the winner of the first round of Saratoga. Third highest score ever in our Beat the Bag contest, Big Ragu. And we all cap together. We cap every race, and I tweet out every race with my actual bets. I mean, I put out my contest picks, but I don't just bet each horse to win. Jump in some exotics, do some different things there. So join us for Beat the Bag this Saturday. And also the Big Boss contest at SBR. Here is the link for the Big Boss contest at SBR. Let me pull that up for you right now. And jump in August contest, $200 up for grabs. We're back at it. A good showing by the low baggers. A lot of plus units. There we go. There is the August contest for DJ Big Boss. Okay, that is that out of the way. Before we cap the rest of the baseball card, let's go over what is going on here on the trade deadline. Looked like it wasn't going to be a loud trade deadline. It is going to be one. Astros acquire right-handed pitcher Zach Greinke and cash from the Diamondbacks. That is a huge, huge move for them. Braves shore up their bullpen. They acquire Shane Green from the Tigers closer, and Mark Melanson from the Giants. So that really helps them a lot. That helps them an enormous amount. And if you think Mark Melanson is that bum, I know he signed that giant contract with San Francisco, but he's on a 7-game scoreless streak, 8 2/3, 9 Ks, 3.38 ERA over 85 in the third for the Giants the past 2 seasons. So he's looking good. All right, the Cubs acquired Castellanos from the Tigers. Man, what happened to Castellanos? He was an absolute monster until this year. 11 homers, 37 doubles, whining about how deep it is to center field at Comerica. 273, 328, 462 slash line. Nick Castellanos is heading to the Chicago Cubs. Giants acquire second baseman Scooter Gennett from the Reds. He's not had a good year. 212, 232, 258 over 20 games. Missed 3 months with a groin strain, and he had a monster 2017. He's probably still capable of that. Bochy can turn that on. 303, 351, 508 slash line last year. What a 2017, 2018. Wow. And then Astros get Aaron Sanchez. Aaron Sanchez looks like he's turned the corner. They get Sanchez and Biagini for Derek Fisher. Why the Jays got Derek Fisher back is unbeknownst to me. What a mess. What an absolute mess. But Aaron Sanchez, Biagini to the Astros. Diamondbacks got Mike Leake. Maybe he'll be good in that ballpark. The Phillies get Corey Dickerson from the Pirates. He's coming off a 5 RBI game yesterday. I like that pickup for them. The Diamondbacks get Zach Gallen. Wow, get Zach Gallen, who looked quite good for the Marlins, but they gave him up for Chaz Chisholm, a shortstop. Nationals get Hunter Strickland. He's been on the DL or the IL for 3 months of this year. He could help their bullpen. He's capable of helping their bullpen, and he's going back to the team. Remember, he's famous for plunking, throwing at the star of the Washington Nationals, now of the Philadelphia Phillies. And I loved it. Man, I loved when he beamed him. I thought that was a great move by Hunter Strickland, and the ensuing fight. I loved it all. I loved every bit of it. And now Hunter Strickland going back, or not going back, but going to the Nationals. A's get Tanner Roark. Brewers acquired Drew Pomerantz and Ray Black. Is that going to help them at all? Nationals get Roenis Elias in their bullpen, and they get Daniel Hudson from the Blue Jays. That's going to help. Astros get Martin Maldonado from the Cubs. That could help. Rays acquire Jesus Aguilar. That will help. And Rangers get Nate Jones. I don't know if that's going to do anything. And there you go. That's today's action. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Daryl Lyles says Yankees shit the bed again. Trade deadline. That just seems to be their MO for some reason. It's strange. It's strange how Cashman deals with these trade deadlines, but very, very strange. Mal says Yankees stupid, clearly need pitching. Sportscake says plunking is an underrated word. Plunking, yes. Strickland plunked Harper, and I loved every second of it. I loved it. Daryl Lyles says, as soon as I set up my Twitter account, I got you. Yeah, Daryl Lyles, I just want to lock you down, man. Everybody that's coming to Miami, I want to have locked down. And so I'd like to know what I can do to help. Maxwell Smart says Melanson is a melon. And clearly what happened here, Russell Gore says, none of the trades matter after Zach beats Yanks first 5, then went to Houston Astros, world champs, but losing today. Interesting. Daryl Lyles says Indians did well too. They certainly did. They certainly did. I'm very excited about seeing the numbers, futures, and we'll talk about that tomorrow morning on the morning show. And Sports Keg says plunking is an underrated word. You can catch me tonight on Sports Keg with my guys tonight, about 7 p.m. Eastern. Around then, pour myself a stiff beverage, and then we'll go to town. Looking forward to be on the Sports Keg this evening. All right. And Sports Keg said, Jim, you go for it tonight. You know I am. I'm going to go every Wednesday. I did miss that Wednesday when I was on vacation in Canada. I apologize, but I'll never miss a Wednesday. I'm always going to be there. Okay, let's get to work now and get some winners. Eric Jones says, let's roll. Jimmy. Luis Fernando Esquinza says, who's thinking of pounding the Indiana Fever? Well, I can't tell you that Von Polo is on the Indiana Fever first half. And we're going to hammer that on this late show. Noli knows in the house. Looking forward to hear what unders Noli knows is on. I knew he'd be proud of me hitting that under easily in Kansas City. Okay, let's get to work. And Joe Anisi, I'll be tuned into Sports Keg tonight. Joe Anisi, spectacular job as always in the Big Boss contest. Very, very impressive month that you had. Okay, let's get to work right now. And we start with the Giants at Phillies. Under 9.5 at plus 100 at Heritage is what I got. And I like it. I like it. Wow, look at Tigers up 4-0. I like seeing that too. Okay, let's look at market moves here. The total opened, juiced, minus 125 to the over, and some money's coming back. Some money is coming back. It's now over 9.5 and minus 112. Now, when I got the under 9.5, I got it at Heritage, I believe. Heritage, let's see what Heritage is doing now. It's still at plus 100 at Heritage. Heritage and Pinnacle at plus 100s. That does make me feel a little uncomfortable. Let's see when that move at Pinnacle happened. Oh, wait, I've got Pinnacle. Oh, yeah, under at plus 100. That makes me uncomfortable. That in the last 37 minutes, there's been an 8-cent move at Pinnacle towards the over. I do not like seeing that. That makes me quite uncomfortable. Ron Lofton says, man, I wish Trout was on a playoff team another year and we don't get to see him in the playoffs. Yes. And Guru Sportsbet says, my play of the day, Mets under 8, going for 5 in a row. Spidey play of the day. Alex Ramirez going back to the Red Sox. Interesting. Going back to the Red Sox money line. And Muhammad Jomo says, Red Sox, Twins, A's, cash that parlay. Let's take a look at lineups here. I'm on the under 9.5 San Francisco Philly. Now, when I took Philly yesterday, we looked at the lineup for San Francisco, and it was ugly. It was ugly. Let's see if they have a better looking lineup today, and they do. For the Red Sox, Belt, Posey, Sandoval, Dickerson, Crawford, Pilar, Yastrzemski, Panic. For the Phillies, Hernandez, Segura, Hoskins, Harper, Realmuto, Kingery, Hazley, Franco. Okay, let's bring up the exact information that we're going to get from the Shark Smarters. Smarters been very good lately. Through 5 starts in July, 3-1, 2.48 ERA. Velasquez has looked good at times this year. He looked good in his last start, 5 2/3 scoreless against the Tigers, but the Tigers are terrible. The Tigers are a bad team. There's DJ Big Boss in the house last day of his contest. By the way, DJ Big Boss hit his early game in the contest, and he's back in plus units, 0.40 plus units. I keep my eye on him. Okay, let's look at the exact data. The data that we need. Pitcher on batter. Let's break this down right now. Daily baseball data. Let's go. Okay, batter versus pitcher. Here we go. Against the Shark, they're hitting .260 with a .682 OPS, 73 at-bats, and Harper is 3 for 18. Realmuto, who's hitting right now, is 2 for 11. Now, Rhys Hoskins is 2 for 4, but nice to see Realmuto, Harper with bad numbers against Smarja. Against Velasquez, 28 at-bats, .250 average, 633 OPS, 3 doubles, no triples, no homers, and then 28 at-bats. I'm on the under 9.5, and Demetrios Devos now. Love seeing that. I'm telling you, if you were to book it right now, book this spot. I wouldn't. With the market move, Pinnacle moving 8 cents to the over makes me uncomfortable. We are going to be dealing with rain. We'll see how that affects things. And shout out to Ilya Katz watching the bag from LA Fitness. Get after it, Ilya. Get after it. Okay. Giants, Phillies, under 9.5, plus 100. If I had the opportunity to make that bet right now, seeing Pinnacle's move, I wouldn't. Now, I'm not going to take the other side, but I wouldn't. Okay. Russell Gordy says all over Giants, first 5 and full game. Oh, wow. I like that. I like the fade of Velasquez. I think that's a nice look. Let's see exactly what he's getting. Money line movement here in that game. Yeah, Giants open up an 11-cent move towards the Phillies. Russell Gordy, fearless in his MLB capping, not afraid to go against the market move. That's what he's doing right now. All right, Giants, Phillies. I'm on the under 9.5 plus 100. Let's move on to Astros, Indians. We did not have enough time to cap this on the morning show. 77 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 10 miles per hour in Cleveland. Jose Urquidy, 1-0, 4.26 ERA, 1.21 whip, 19 innings, 23 Ks, 3 walks, 2 home runs. He looks like the real deal. Zach Plesac, 5-3, 3.10 ERA, 1.10 whip, 61 innings, 44 Ks, 22 walks, 10 home runs. Guru Sportsbet says, I got Giants as a play. Bubba says, the Philly lineup not bad against Marja, but Giants on the road at a dog price. I like G-Men. Interesting. Atlas Party says, just like I was going in Cleveland last night, Gordy, Philly wins again tonight. Interesting. And Russell Gordy says Cleveland wins. Astros hitting 267, 803 OPS versus righties. Indians are hitting 249, 753 OPS versus righties. Altuve is heating up. Second straight 3-hit performance. Now hitting 300 on the season. He's 18 for his last 35. Yuli Gurriel, 17-game hitting streak rolling into Wednesday's game. And these Astros have won 3 in a row and 10 of their last 12. Urquidy allowed 1 run for the second straight outing on Friday. 4 hits, 6 innings, no decision against the St. Louis team that's not hitting. Urquidy surrendered 6 hits while striking out 15 in the last 2 games. Make his 5th career start first versus Cleveland. Now, let's see. Do we see Puig and Reyes in the lineup? Let's get these lineups up right now for the Cleveland Indians, and we don't. For the Indians, confirmed lineup, Lindor, Mercado, Santana, Kipnis, Jose Ramirez, Luplo, Bowers, Perez, Naquin. For the Astros, Springer, Altuve, Brantley, Bregman, Alvarez, Correa, Gurriel, Reddick, and Trinos. Wow. Interesting stuff, and I do not feel real comfortable making a move on this. Let's see what's going on market-wise for the Cleveland game. Here we go, money lines and totals. For the Astros, Indians, the total opened at 10, down to 9.5. Heritage still hanging a 10. The only book hanging a 10. The Astros opened up at minus 138. There's been an 8-cent move towards the Astros. They're now at minus 146. Larry Savage says Indians money line. Daryl Lyle says I'm on Indians first 5. Mally Mal says Houston again. Urquidy's been very good. And Plesac is someone I don't really trust, even though he's been pretty good. I mean, he's been pretty good. 5-3, 3.10 ERA, 1.10 WHIP, 44 Ks in 61 innings, not striking out enough guys. He's allowed 10 home runs in 61 innings. Joey Vang says, have good money on those Dodgers. Let's go get after it. Daryl Lyles is on the Astros Indians first 5 under. First 5 under. I don't know if I can make a move on this total. I'm afraid to back an under against the Astros. But if I had a free play, I would take the first 5 under or the full game under. Doug Barnhouse says Astros, but I'm biased. Christopher Smith says Cleveland can't beat Houston. And Pink Eye Genie says really don't like Plesac. You know, if you use an eye test with Plesac, his numbers are better than what I would expect that they're getting from him. But he comes from a baseball family. Uncle Dan Plesac. Uncle is a lefty. He's a righty. I don't know if I'm going to make a move. Top Set says over-under is 8 for the Indians game. What was I saying? I said, no, I've got 9.5 for the Indians game. Is something wrong with the book? Yeah, I've got it opened at 10. It got up to 10.5 at 4:15 yesterday. And I've got 9.5 here for the Indians game. I've got 9.5. Okay. Lance LaRose says Houston, Cleveland, first 5 under. Joe Anisa says Houston line up a bunch of killers. Melvin Betances is on first 5 and full game under. And Russell Gordy says Cleveland needs this win. Twins are rolling. I don't find an angle that I find. I stayed off. That Indians money line looked nice yesterday. I stayed off of it. I know that the Indians had, there was an interesting point, and I believe it was Torino Tomoro said it, who said yesterday, he said the Indians lineup that smashes Verlander, this is a different lineup. Now, the main culprits who smashed Verlander are still in this lineup. Lindor, Ramirez, especially, and then Santana. But I don't. MMK says Astros bats explode today. Top Set says 8 at Heritage, I see. Let me just see if something's wrong with SBR's odds here. I'm going to just pull up my book quickly and go to baseball. Here we go. Game lines. And no, it's 9.5 everywhere. If there's an 8, it just doesn't make sense. 9.5 everywhere. Okay. It's 9.5 everywhere. Okay. Astros, Indians. At this point, I am off that game. Let's talk Rays, Red Sox. Another game that we didn't have enough time to talk about on the early show. 79 Fahrenheit, rain, 5 miles per hour, sideways. Let's see if RotoWire is concerned about any of this rain. No, they are not. And it's 20% chance of rain at this point. 6 miles per hour, the wind left to right. Yarbrough is the primary. Kittredge is the opener. And I like Kittredge. Older guy. I like Andrew Kittredge. Earned his opportunity here with the Rays in the show. Tampa Bay lineup. G-Man Choi, Meadows, d'Arnaud, Nate Lowe, Garcia, Kiermaier, Duffy, Sogard making his Rays debut here, and Willie Adames at shortstop. For the Red Sox, Betts, Devers, Bogarts, Martinez, Benintendi, Travis, Vasquez, Chavez, and Bradley Jr. And we know that already the Spidey play today is on this. My guy Sam says, hey, Jimmy, you missed Eddie Astros. Get it done. Correa, 100% now. Sam Moctezuma liking the Astros today. Larry Savage says, I'm off Indians now. Off Indians. Interesting. And Thompson says, my bad, that's tomorrow's early line. I feel you. Mally Mal says, Houston 100%, health correct. Larry Savage says, Astros taking it. And Russell Gordy says, Vegas knows money will come in on Houston after Zach News pounding Cleveland. Very interesting look, Russell Gordy. Okay, let's focus on this Rays-Red Sox game. First, let's look at the movements that we are dealing with and go from there. Money lines and totals. The total opened up at 11, and it's still there. Porcello and the Red Sox opened up at minus 135. There's been no movement at BetOnline. It's still at minus 135. Okay, so Rays are hitting 255, 765 OPS versus righties. Red Sox hit righties hard, but don't forget, Yarbrough is the primary, and he's a lefty. So the 284, 838 OPS versus righties is only going to be in service for 1 inning. Boston relievers continue to let them down. And where are the Red Sox moves for relievers? The Red Sox were not buying at the deadline. Joey Ving says, what's the Spidey play today? It's Red Sox money line. And he says, what's the taint play today? The taint play today is about to or did already cash. Oh, no, it didn't. Oh, God, taint play today got hurt with these late runs. Poor taint. Poor taint. Man, there's 7 runs scored in the last 3 innings to push that Arizona Yankees to over. It was the under 9.5. Too bad. Very, very bad. Okay, Sam, my guy Sam saying Indians also a little depleted, Jimmy. Yeah, and Eric Jones said, why would you step in front of the train like the Astros? I'm not going to. And Melly Mel says, DeGrom, Giolito going the full 9. Guys, I do not think that Giolito is in a good form right now. I don't think he's in good form right now. And I'm on the first 5 minus half there. We'll get to that soon. Let's think about whether or not we make a move in this Rays Red Sox spot. Minus 135 for the Red Sox. You're getting value. The question is, do you trust Porcello? Coming off a quality start in New York, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 5 strikeouts. 4-0 this month, but with a 7.54 ERA. 30 career starts against the Rays. He always pitches them well, 3.50 ERA. They expect to get Kiermaier back, and I believe they did, right? I said Kiermaier. Yes, Kiermaier is back in the lineup for the Rays. Kittredge will open. He has only done 3 innings with the opening role, and although he's had at Toronto. His last time opening was Saturday at Toronto. Struck out 7 over 3 innings, allowed 5 hits and 2 runs in that 10-9 loss. Lance LaRose, Tampa Bay, Boston, full game over. Tampa Bay, Boston, full game over. Nutflush on says, got to take Giants at this price. Smarja has done this all year. We'll put together 3 or 4 good starts and go into a funk. Nutflush Allen taking the Giants on the plus line. Chad Kent says Porcello stays faded like most people in this chat. Mohamed Joma says minus 135. Great price on Red Sox. Boston should have won yesterday. This Tampa lineup I don't believe in. And Maxwell Smart saying Trauco's yard, such a beautiful sight. Eric Jones liking the over 11 in Boston. There's rain. The wind is not necessarily helping. I don't know if I like that. The Red Sox, you take a lot of the power off of them when you bring in a lefty. These Rays Red Sox games are tricky to cap. And yesterday I would have said, if I had a free play, I would have probably put it on the Red Sox. I stayed off of it, and the Red Sox lose late. My guy Elio, like in the Rays team total over first 5. I find Rays Red Sox matchups tricky. Constantly tricky. Boston needs this win bad. They're now a game and a half back behind the Rays. They're 2 games back of this AL wildcard pace behind Oakland. But Alex Ramirez, Spidey play today, Red Sox money line. Sam Moctezuma says Red Sox bullpen hasn't been so great in my opinion. What do you think? The Red Sox bullpen's been terrible. Let them down again yesterday. So terrible that if you were going to back the Red Sox, you'd probably want to take them first 5. Although, with an advantage offensively, which is what the Red Sox have over the Rays, you'd want 9 innings. So it's tricky. And I don't feel like I have an angle I can put my money on and raise Red Sox. AM says away teams usually win this matchup, I notice. I am not on Rays Red Sox. Let's move on to this Twins Marlins spot, Barrios Alcantara. Let's see what the market move has been here. Twins Marlins. Twins open up at minus 179. They're now minus 183. That's a 4-cent move towards them, which means money has come back on these Marlins. This total opened at 8 and minus 110. It's still right there, minus 110 each way. Coco Bongo says Boston are pretenders. That's it. And Chad Cannon says that line still moving towards Philly. And Muhammad Jones saying Milwaukee bats have been trash all season. Pink Eye Genie says heard Atlanta resting people, don't want any injuries. That's true. And that's an interesting look. Pink Eye Genie taking Denver minus 2.5. The Atlanta Falcons got to get right. We know that. They got to get right. C-Dom says Tampa first 5 looks like the play. Yeah, I think that's right. I don't want to take the Rays here, but you have to think that who's more vulnerable, a Kittredge opening to Yarbrough or Porcello? I would say Porcello, but again, I don't like it enough. Noli Knows says I like the first 5 under in Minnesota, Miami. Let's see what he got there. We know that the full game total is 8. Let's see what he got first half here. First 5, he got, there's a 4.5 of 5. Wow, there's 4.5s, and Pinnacle's moved it down to 4. I find that very interesting. You have a full game total of 8, yet your first 5 is down to 4.5 or 4, at Pinnacle. I mean, Pinnacle and Heritage moving it down to 4, I find that extremely appealing. Let's see if we should jump with Noli and Pinnacle and grab Advantage Bet and grab a 4.5 on one of these books. Let's talk about it right now. Barrios, 2.94 ERA, 1.14 whip. Been very good this year, but his numbers are a little worse, more pedestrian on the road. 4-3, 3.62 ERA. The Twins relievers looked much better yesterday. Maybe Romo helped. They went 3 1/3 scoreless. We won't need them if we focus on this first 5. Alcantara has never faced the Twins. But these Twins bats are real. 264, 825 OPS versus righties. Alcantara has a 6.35 ERA in 3 starts since the All-Star game. He's walked 8 batters in 17 innings. It makes me uncomfortable. Oh, look, enough Flush Island got the under at 10 when it opened. I do worry a little bit about runs today from Giants, but Belt may have a little bit of confidence today. Giants 5-2. Oh, I like that. And Daryl Lyles says, Plesac 2.86 ERA in 5 home starts. Astros 1-9 in road games off a shutout win over the last 3 seasons. Very interesting stuff there. And Christopher Smith says, my Phillies win. Again, Muhammad Jomas on the Twins -1.5. All right, let's take a closer look at these 3 starts for Alcantara after the All-Star break, because you have to think that Barrios can keep these bats quiet enough. The key to that first 5 under will be Sandy Alcantara. Let's take a look right now. Okay, last start at home versus Arizona, and he looked good. 2 earned runs. So he gets off the All-Star break. The Mets touch him at home. Then he gets touched violently by the Dodgers. Then he goes into Arizona and he's better. He's better at home. Guru says Alcantara can get touched pretty easily. I think this game goes over. But that 4.5 first 5 seems pretty nice. There's my guy Luca DeStefano says, came in late, Jimmy, but I always pull out early. Let's punch him in the gooch. I like that, Luca. It got me. I didn't know where I was going when I was reading it. Okay, Lanil says, Minnesota going to show Miami up. No runs. I like where our guy Noli knows is at. In Pinnacle, Noli knows. It's something I first started doing with Noli, and we talked about it quite a bit, was that when he liked an under, if the market was going with the under, I would take it. And if the market wasn't, I would let it go. And I was hitting at a very high percentage with Noli in that situation. It was college basketball. There's Juan Ruiz in the house, ready to get to work. Richie says, Alcantara usually good for 5 solid innings. Usually blows up in the 6th or later. Jack Ken says, Alcantara was an all-star. I can see some confidence with him, which is sometimes all a young pitcher needs. And now he's got his 2nd straight start at home. Okay, let's take a look at these lineups and see whether we tail our guy Noli knows. Here we go. For Minnesota, Kepler, Polanco, Garver, Rosario, Sano, Gonzalez, Scope, Buxton. And remember, they lose the DH. That hurts them a lot. For the Marlins, Rojas, Ramirez, Anderson, Walker, Castro, Granderson, Alfaro, Puelo. You know what? I'm in, Noli. My first addition to the card. I like it. Now, let's get us a 4.5 to mess with here. Now, if my book is hanging a 4, let's see what they're hanging right now. 5 innings. First 5. They're at 4.5 and -125. I bet you it's not available as soon as... You know what? I should just bet it now, but I can't. Maybe I can when Larry comes in. I don't want to sit here. Okay, so first 5, under 4.5. Let's line shop and get something nice here. Line shop and get something nice here. First 5, totals. Let's get a nice 4.5 here. 4.5 at -120 is the best right now. And Bookmaker just moved it up to -126. That's going to be a 4 in no time. 4.5 at -120. That's available at Bovada. It's available at Intertops. That's available at 5 Dimes. I'm rolling with Noli. First 5 under 4.5, -120. Book it. And Nutflush on says, Noli, roll to Miami with us. Man, I would just absolutely love that. No says, oh, yes, I remember during college basketball, it was gold. It really was gold. Christopher Smith in the house. Okay. Guru Sports Bet says, what's A's lineup? Haven't released it yet. I don't have it yet on my action here. Let me see if I can refresh and grab it for you. A's lineup will be there soon. And yes, we have a confirmed A's lineup. Simeon Martini batting second. Simeon Martini, Chapman, Olsen, Davis, Kanya, Grossman, Herman, and our guy, Franklin Barreto, at second base. So Chris Davis, I assume, after hitting the home run in the 8th inning, is going to catch fire. He's a very streaky hitter. I assume he catches fire here. And the market, I can't wait to talk about the market moves on that game because it's just been confounding. Scott Parra says, thoughts on Rangers, Seattle. We are going to get to that game very soon. We're going to get to that game very soon, Scott. First, we have Cubs, Cardinals, and then next game's Mariners, Rangers. So let's get through. Okay, sure. Why don't we hit, if our guy Scott wants Mariners, Rangers, let's get to it right now. Mariners, Rangers. Mariners 21-31 on the road. Rangers 31-22 at home. 97 Fahrenheit, clear, 10 miles per hour in. Remember, it's Arlington. Don't put too much into that win. Wade LeBlanc. Now, they were saying they were going to have an opener, but I still have not seen one announced. Let's see if one's been announced. No, it's got Wade LeBlanc is starting. Maybe they are not going with an opener. Mohammed Kamal says, yo, chat, do you think Boston game will go over? We talked about that at some length, what we thought about the total in the Rays Red Sox game. And remember, just take the power away from the Red Sox when Yarborough's on the mound, because the power for the Red Sox is against righties, not against lefties. But I think more people were leaning towards that over. I believe more people were leaning towards that over. I have no play on that game. Let's get to this Mariners Rangers spot, then we'll go to the Cubs card spot. LeBlanc 6-3, 4.79 ERA, 1.35 WHIP, but he's looked much better in the last 2 months or so. Let's make sure we know exactly how much better he's looked if we're going to talk about LeBlanc, because when you do throw a lefty at the Rangers, it's like throwing a lefty at the Red Sox, but even more so, where you take the power away from these Rangers. And remember, this is a Rangers team without Joey Gallo in the lineup. Wade LeBlanc. Okay, here we go. So, right after the All-Star break, he got touched badly at the Angels. Then he faced the Angels again 7 days later, 2 earned runs over 5. Then he faced Detroit at home, 1 earned run over 6. He's one of those pitchers where if you do the eye test, you have no idea what to make of him. Now, he's tricky, but he's much trickier in his home ballpark than he will be in Texas. Mike Minor, 8-6, 3.00 ERA. Mike Minor's looked bad. 0-2, 6.04 ERA over his past 4 starts. But maybe he gets on the bump tonight, knows that he does not have to move his family, and is more comfortable. That's a very viable possibility. Minor, 3-4, 4.28 ERA against Seattle in his career. 2-1 against them this year. Last Wednesday on the road, he allowed 5 runs, 4 earned on 8 hits, 6 innings, and 5-3 loss. And we faded him in that game because of his whiny, bitchy comments about being on the trade block. Rangers 240, 734 OPS for lefties. Mariners are 246, 771 OPS for lefties, but a lot of that damage came earlier in the year when they had the likes of Edwin Encarnacion. Let's see if we can take a look at these lineups here, and we can. For the Mariners, and the Mariners are on a winning streak. For the Mariners, Smith, Crawford, Santana, Narvaez, Beckham, Vogelbach, Nola, Seager, who's heating up. I know he's batting just 200 on the year, but he's heating up. And then Keon Broxton in center. For the Rangers, Chu, Santana, Andrews, Pence, Calhoun, Odor, Forsythe, DeShields, and Mathis. Let's see what the chat is saying about this spot. Also, let's quickly make just a look at this, the market move on this game. Let's go to full game spreads and totals. Here we go. Opened at 9.5. Oh, sorry, that's the Brewers game. My fault. Where is it? So, okay, open at 10, now at 10.5 is the total. Minor opens up at minus 167 and is now at minus 164. I tell you, first and foremost, I would not back the Rangers as big favorites here. Just the way Minor's been pitching, you'd be making a guess that Minor, knowing that he's staying in Texas, is going to make him relax and go back to who he was a month ago. And that's gambling. You're taking a guess that Minor's going to look like the old guy, and I don't know if he does. When I look at the money line here, I say the money line, I would take the Mariners here. I would back the Mariners. Christopher Smith says, just take the over, Jim, and pass to this game. Minor is a question mark. Because Minor is a question mark, and he's capable of pitching very well. And this is a pretty weak Mariners lineup, regardless of the fact that they've been winning baseball games lately. Russell Gordy says all over Texas, Jimmy. Ron Lott says, I see a big over and both team total overs in the Rangers game. Interesting. I don't like guessing somebody's mindset, psychological mindset. And that's what I'd be doing here. I'd be guessing that Minor is happy that he's staying in Texas because he's such a whiny bitch the last month and that he's going to feel good and pitch well. You know, you want to have an edge that you can buy into. And I don't like it enough. I don't like him. And Trotwell says, tell him to me, we don't gamble, you know? AM says Seattle money line is the way to go. Seeing Russell Gordy all over Texas will keep me off of the Mariners, but from a value standpoint, yeah, I would take the Mariners at a big plus line. Dave Betts in the house. Love seeing Dave Betts. Says Miner's been solid at home this season with an ERA under 3. Yeah, but Dave Betts, what do you take sample size wise? And this is just how, you know, every capper has to make these decisions. What angle is a more important angle to you? The fact that Miner's been trash, 6.04 ERA over his past 4 starts, or that Miner's being good at home this year? Lance LaRose says Seattle, Texas, full game over again. Let's go to Mike Minor quickly and make a decision here. We have looked at Wade LeBlanc already. Let's look at Mike Minor. For a sample size thing, I mean, let's see what he's done at home in his last few starts then. At home, he had his first start right before the All-Star break, 3 earned runs and 4 1/3, and then the start right after now against the dangerous Astros team, 4 earned runs in 5 innings. Before that, he shut down the Indians last month, June 20th, 1 earned run over 8. I'm off this game. Dave Betts says best angle for this is pass. Noli knows says I don't gamble, I invest. Respect. Jamal Stone says all over Texas first 5, says Jamal. You know, respect. I respect Jamal. I guess but I'm I'm not going to make a move. Larry Savage says I rate Minor higher than LeBlanc, especially on the road. But LeBlanc's a tricky pitcher who's screwed me over the last year and a half. Yeah, why don't we do that? Let's go to pitcher versus batter. That's a good call. This is a good spot to do that in. Here we go. And if you look at the Rays numbers versus Porcello, by the way, they smash him. 323, 855 OPS. They smash him. Okay, here we go. Against the Mariners, against LeBlanc, 12 for 50, 240 average, but some power. 3 doubles and a triple, no homers, 707 OPS. They don't hit him. They just don't hit LeBlanc. Mike Minor, he shuts down these Mariners. Vogelbach is 2 for 5 against them with 2 home runs, but no one else hits him. 203 average, 614 OPS. I mean, that to me doesn't say jump all over the over. Respect Russell Gordy. Larry Savage says Seager's been playing better, though. And Chad Cannon says dumpster game. And Farshad Tommy says, Jimmy, I told you Cubs under and Reds over yesterday. You sure did, Farshad. Don't think that I don't notice when you are on a play. You are a great, great capper and a big asset to the Lowback family. I'm off Mariners Rangers. I don't want it. Okay, let's go over to Cubs Cardinals. This was a game that really irritated me on the early show. I saw money going to the over first 5, and I didn't understand it. And while I was not understanding it, huge money came on the under first 5, which is what I wanted, and I missed the opportunity. This total opened at 8.5. It's now at 8. This is another one of those games where the Cards opened as the favorites and are now the dogs. Was that just so irritating not being able to get the 4.5 here? The over 4 is juiced pretty high, minus 125. I wonder if there's money coming in on the over now. Let's see. Got up to minus 123. When it's up at minus 123, you think maybe Pinnacle will make a move and move that up to 4.5, but they don't. So that was 25 minutes ago. You could have got the under 4 at plus 108. But what an idiot I was for not taking the 4.5 when I could have. And it just bothers me. And I, whenever that happens, I just have this feeling that it's going to get me, that this is going to be an easy under. But I can't take a 4 when I should have got a 4.5 because I was hesitant, because I was the little bitch that I claim Mike Minor is. All right. Savage says Cardinals Cubs squared off 10 times. Home teams won every single game. Every single game. Will that change tonight? 84 Fahrenheit, clear, 5 miles per hour in. Hendricks, 7-8, 3.26 ERA, 1.13 whip. We talked about him having bad road numbers, and his last start on the road was in Milwaukee, and I took the first 5 under with confidence with him. I do not believe he's going to be a pitcher who's shitty on the road. This guy is just a veteran. He knows how to handle different situations. That score, by the way, after 5 was 0-0. Michaelis being exceptional at home, bad on the road. And that was another thing that I said I don't really believe in. Now, he did allow 3 earned runs in his last road start, but I'm not going to be afraid to back Michaelis on the road. 7-10 this year, 4.19 ERA, 1.22 whip. My guy Grim Reaper says, riding on the bus, everyone can hear, give me the bag. Shout out to Grim Reaper. Man, don't just blow through your stop, man. Hang out on the bus. Hang out on the bus, man. Respect to our guy Grim Reaper, capping on the bus, capping wherever he has to. That's my guy Grim Reaper. My guy, Grim Reaper. Much love. And please, say hi to everybody on the bus for me. Love it. Okay. And Grim Reaper says, what I tell you guys, Dodgers was my play, had the -1 and the -140. And the Dodgers put up 5. Wow, in extras. Wow. Dodgers put up 5. Unbelievable. And JP says, God bless you, Dodgers. And Isan Solfagari joining us says, here it is, my summer play today. Chicago, first 5 money line. Hendricks 7-2 with a 2.989 ERA. Let's take a look. And Ron Lofton says, simple for me, rolling team. A rolling team at home against a team that struggles on the road. Cards for me. Look, if you go against these market moves, I just don't feel like you're going to hit over 54%. You know, it's just, that's how I feel. And greatest ever, much love to you. Larry Savage says, problem is Hendricks has been pitching well. Let's take a closer look. Coco Bongo says, don't hang on the bus. That's horrible advice. Man, don't listen. Don't listen, Grim Reaper. You do what you got to do, man. But if your stop comes, you should probably bounce. You should probably get off the bus. He's right. He's right. Okay. JP says, I can't bet the Cubs on the road. 20-32 on the road. I'm looking forward to see Castellanos in that lineup. I like seeing the Cardinals do nothing. I have the Cubs, 2 units on the Cubs at +130 to win the division, and I need it badly. Okay, let's take a look at pitcher versus batter. Let's check out this data here for the Cubs. Cardinals, and here it is. Against Michaelis, 90 at bats. They're 21 for 90, 233 average, 344 slugging, 633 OPS. Michaelis is good, and he's good at home. I can't believe I didn't get that 4.5. God, that bothers me. Against Hendricks, only 6 Cardinals have seen him. 98 at bats, 20 for 98, 204 average, 276 slugging. Unbelievable. So 98 at bats, he's allowed 7 doubles, 0 homers. C-Dom says, Jimmy, and what do you think about percentages of public betting? The public side, the sharp side, I don't care about that nearly as much as I care about the market move. You know, public will have their day. The sharps will have their day. I mean, you probably want to be on the sharp side more than the public side, but, you know, you cap a game and you find your angle and you trust it and you believe in it and then you put your money on it. And that to me is paramount. And I try not to get too much. I mean, we talk about it so much in NFL, and I know that there's just such a bigger market. Maybe I would say maybe in NFL that it's more interesting and can lead you to a nice spot. And basketball. I'd say maybe NFL and NBA. But in NHL, I could care less. I don't even look. And in MLB, it's just not quite as important. Booker Lover Q says, especially in Los Angeles, one quick ride to the airport rental car and saw 2 fights. Respect, man. Respect. Now, Flashan says, capping in the sand on the beach with a cold drink. Miami is coming. Topset says, the bus makes you humble. Everyone should freaking ride it for a year. Yeah, I agree. Von Polo says, yeah, the crucial meetup in the Lac City Oceans Resort and Casino or Hard Rock, or should we just go to Vegas and do a huge meetup just like Miami? Well, Von Polo, let's party together in Miami and we can talk about it then. Okay. Chad Cannon says, Cards win 4-2 under 8. I just so upset at myself for not getting it when I could have. So I'm not going to take the 4. The 4 would have to be a win. And then this total opened up at 8.5 and now at 8. I just don't want to be on the ass end of these moves. That's just the most important thing. Now, if you look at this move, it went from 8.5 to 8 at Pinnacle in, 29 minutes. And then it went back up to 8.5. It was 8.5 last night. And then by 1 in the morning, it was back to 8. And then it gets back to 8.5 this morning. And if you don't get it there, you shouldn't make the bet. And I'm not going to, even if it goes under, which I expect. Bothersome. The only notice is I always try to make my bets the night before. I don't want line movement or the perception of Sharp or Public affect my bets. That's really well put. Muhammad Joma says, Jimmy, you see the X stamps total down to 46.5 now? I did, and I have, and it's, I mean, how do you not take, the last time we had a total move 8 points towards the under, I then took the over, and I cashed it by 30 points. That was in CFL this year, week 2 or 3, and I'm feeling that. Chad Cannon says 8.5 sounds great. I may lean under. If you get it at 8.5, do it. But don't buy it up to 8.5. Like, let's see if I had to buy it up to 8.5, let's see what my book would charge me. Let's see what my book would charge me right now. Cardinals, Cubs. If I want 8.5, and this is just going to make me even angrier. Alternative game total. 8.5, under 8.5 is at minus 130. Wow, I don't hate that. 8.5 is at... And if I want the 4.5, it's at minus 135 for the first 5. That's a lot to pay. And let's just look at the market move. When could I have got the 4.5 at a decent price? You know what? That might be worth paying. It might be worth paying. So if I had got... Oh, sorry, let's go to... Sorry, I need first 5. Here we go. First half. See these market moves for Chicago, St. Louis. Maybe it's not ridiculous. Oh my God. Pinnacle just moved it back to 4.5. Pinnacle just moved it back to 4.5. Wow. Pinnacle leading the way to the over. Or Pinnacle saying, we want your bets on the under. That concerns me as well. Why would Pinnacle do that? Sorry, I don't mean to hum and haw over this, but, it's our cash that we're talking about. Ty Clinton says, what's the line for Mets first 5? I'm on Mets first 5 minus 1/2, and we're going to get to that quickly. We should probably get to that now. Sorry staying on this so much, but Mally Mouse says, your gift. Yeah, it's what I wanted. But, God, I don't like... sorry, but I don't want Pinnacle to be the book that gives me the gift. Pinnacle's a real sharp book. AM says you have to take it now, Jimmy. Pinnacle's a sharp book. If any other book offered it to me, Nick, my guy Nick says BetDSI isn't the most popular book, but they're hanging 4.5. And look at Shaquille Bell says Cubs half over 4. Rich G says if you're unsure, Jimmy, leave it alone. Okay, brisk pace says Larry Savage. Okay, my fault. Let me just quickly look at these lineups for the Cubs cards. Lineups for Cubs cards. Here we go. And then we have Milwaukee, Oakland, and the Mets game. Okay, I got to move. Okay, Cubs cards. Hayward, Contreras, Bryant, Rizzo, Baez, Happ, Schwarber, Bodie. For the cards, Edmund, Fowler, Martinez, Goldschmidt, DeYoung, Wong, O'Neill, Wieters, Michaelis. Drew Daddy says, just put $1,000 on the Cubs money line tonight. Let's go, baby. Drew Daddy, I was thinking about you yesterday. I am going to take it. I am going to take the under 4.5. I'll hate myself if I didn't. Under 4.5 at minus 121. So there was just another move on it. So the under, so as soon as it went to 4.5, somebody just put money on it. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take first 5 under 4.5 at minus 121. Okay. And Eric Rosa says, I tailed Dave LA on Royals first 5 money line. Thanks, brother. And there's Dave Burke. He says, joining in late tonight. Sorry, boys. Anyone looking at Giants, Phillies first 5 under 5? No, I focused on the full game. I took the 9.5, but I don't love it, and I wouldn't take it now. Market moves me moving towards the over, so I'm a little uncomfortable. Okay, let's move on to these final 2 games. Here we go. Mets, White Sox. So I got the Mets first 5 minus 1/2 at minus 115, but my book wasn't hanging it there. It's line shopping. If I'm not up 10 units at the end of this year, I think we should add 10 units. That's how much I'm probably in after 1,000 bets with the ability to pick the very best market move, very, very best line. So Mets first 5 minus 1/2 at minus 115 is what I got. Let's see what it is right now. First 5 point spreads on the Mets. I do not trust Giolito right now. And right now it's minus 125 is the best you could get at Bet Online. I like getting the minus 115. Farshad is on me leaning Cubs and the over, Jimmy. I just like the first 5. Drew Daddy says 6-2 Cubs win today. JP saying anyone watching Saratoga right now? No, but is that race started at Del Mar? It must have just gone off. Mally Mouse saying Giolito's been shaky. I agree with that completely. Giolito has just not looked like the same guy. And he got touched against the Twins. 4 homers, 3 of them from Nelson Cruz. He has not thrown longer than 6 2/3 in his last 8 starts. AM says Mets run line looks like a play, but I don't trust the Mets to keep winning. Big Guy Bubba says on the DeGrom mush tonight, Mets first 5 running line. Bubba, you can't mush anything, man. I'm happy that you're joining us. We know that there's no Yohan Moncada for the White Sox, and that's going to hurt them. Here's the White Sox lineup. Garcia, Goins. Ryan Goins batting second. How bad is your baseball team that Ryan Goins is batting second? Jose Abreu, AJ Reed DHing, Eloy Jimenez, John Jay, Tim Anderson back. That's good for them. McCann, and then Yolmer Sanchez. For the Mets, McNeil, Conforto, Alonso, Cano, Ramos, Davis, Frazier, Rosario, Hechavarria. I'm happy with where I stand here. Larry Savage says Mets, second by a head. Damn, Guillermo. But unless you took them first, win place. But great. Man, Guillermo, you're anything you say about horses, I will be listening. Nufflashan says, be careful with Giants first 5 over. If Smart just struggles, it will be in the first or the 5th inning. Noli knows says, I think Giolito shows up today, wants to compete with DeGrom. I think Giolito is questioning himself. Remember it's all mental with Giolito, and he's a leader. But remember what turned him around this year? It was speeding up his delivery. When he sped it up real quickly, it started working for him. I guess what I think when that's happening is that he's probably not going to find long-term greatness if the only thing that he changed was speeding up his delivery, because then it's really just mental what's going on here. And Boogie Lover Q says, remember Giolito pitched for, that's last year. No, it was a long time ago. He was on the White Sox. He's been on the White Sox for, 3 years? Wasn't he in the Adam Eaton trade? Wasn't it Ronaldo Lopez and Giolito for Adam Eaton? I believe. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so back to this spot. I want to back the Mets. It was just what angle gave me the least amount of juice and the most value, and I was focusing just on the Mets first 5, minus half, minus 115. I would say that is my best play on the card. 111 Wolf says Mets lineup barely any at-bats in their career versus Giolito. Yeah, I mean, it goes both ways. Interleague game. And Coco Bongo says, I can't back a guy whose name sounds like Italian soft serve ice cream. However, whatever angles you want to use, we will support. Nas M says, Mets always score 1 run or 2 run with DeGrom. They opened last time DeGrom started with 4 in the first. So, to be honest with you, Giolito has a 3.52 ERA right now. I predict season ends with it at 3.98 or 4.04. I think he kind of gets worse as we move forward. So I'm on Mets first 5 minus 115. I've only made one addition, and that was tailing Noli Nose. Now let's go on that first 5 under 4. I made 2 additions, right? Because I did finally get the under 4.5 in the Cubs game. So there I made that addition. And then I tailed first 5 under 4.5, Twins, Marlins. Okay. Noli Nose says, in that game ended 4-0, Jimmy. Wasn't that nuts? It was just nuts. Okay, now let's go on to the final game of this card, and this was just threw me for a loop. Jordan Lyles, Brett Anderson, I'd be all over the over, and yet the under was taking all this cash. The Brewers were taking cash. It confused me enormously. Let's talk about it right now. Milwaukee, Oakland opens at 9.5. The total under 9.5 minus 115. Now it's under 9 and minus 107. So slightly juiced to the over. But how's that possible? How could when something happens like this, I just stay away from a game. Now, if it's in NHL, I feel different. But baseball is a battle. It's such a battle where you have enormous amounts of statistical information, and if you can focus on the right angles with that information that's available for everybody, when a pitcher is going to regress, and we know that there's models and syndicates and all sorts of things that have, computed this information. And when the market moves, it scares the shit out of me. Dave Burke says Brewers look nice today. Both A and the A's are 5-5 last 10. PVB data looks like it favors towards the Brew Crew, and it must. But Jordan Lyles has allowed a 444 batting average this month. Only 4 in July. And 4 July starts. Only 4 times in the history of MLB baseball has a pitcher allowed a 444 batting average in 4 starts in July. The last time that happened was 30 years ago. Charlie Leibrandt, 474 in 1989. And somebody's going to put their money on them? That's just crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And in this spot, you have to think that, okay, the Brewers are hitting 245, 765 OPS versus lefties. This A's score first has been cashing and cashing and cashing and cashing. It just keeps cashing. Why wouldn't I go right back to the well? Cash me plus 120 yesterday. Let's see what it is today. A's score first. Here we go. We need Brett Anderson to get through that first inning. Let's go. A's score first. Is that my final addition to this card? They just keep scoring first. Where is it? We have a first innings winner. What the hell? Why are they not offering it? First team to score, A's plus 115. It just keeps cashing. And Mama Joma says, Jimmy, teams with Jordan Lyles starting 0-18 in July. It's nuts. It's crazy. Rich G says, how bad would a pitcher have to be for a team to trade him to another team in their own division? I mean, it's a great point, Rich G. It's a great point. But why? And then AM says, Brewers money line big play tonight. Drew Daddy says, Cubs money line play of the night. And we've seen that huge market move from the Cardinals over to the Cubs. All right, I'm going to go right back to the well. This is just, until it stops cashing. And Dave LA brought this to us. Until it stops cashing, I'm just going to keep hammering it. And Topset says Charlie Lee Brandt. Holy shit. Yeah. Russell Gordy says over is to play Anderson, trash, Lyles, trash. I agree. But Russell Gordy has big giant balls to go up against the market move, and I've stopped doing that. So I am going to take A's to score first again. And until this stops happening, and it's only been happening at home. This hasn't been happening with the A's on the road. It's been only happening with the A's at home. And then at home is where you get those big plus lines. A's to score first, plus 115. I'm on it. It's my last addition to the card. All right. Let's go over this right now. Wow, 3-run homer by Beckham. 9-1 Tigers. Wow. Okay, let's go over all of the late action. We only have 8 games, and we're going to bring in Lucrative Larry. So, Rafa, if you could grab a Lucrative Larry. I know the guy's being a little wild and out of control. Lucrative Larry, third straight show joining us. Ken R says, with you on the A's, Jimmy. They just keep scoring first. They keep scoring first at plus lines. Why would I not just take it until it loses and then maybe slow down? So, Giants, Phillies, under 9.5 and plus 100. If you offered me this bet right now, I wouldn't bet it. But I'm on it, and I'm not going to take the other side. I'm not going to hedge out of it. Astros, Indians, I'm off. Rays, Red Sox, I'm off. Twins, Marlins, first 5, under 4.5 at minus 120. Noli Nose brought this play to the show, and we broke it down nicely, and I hammered it. Well, $125 isn't hammering it. A small bet on it. Cubs, Cardinals, first 5, under 4.5 at minus 121. I wanted it so badly on the morning show. I was so angry that it wasn't available. Let's just go back to it quickly and see what's going on with it. Unders. So it's still just them hanging the 4.5. And it's at minus 120 now. So it went minus 120, minus 121, now back to minus 120. Mariners, Rangers, I'm off. Mets, first 5, minus half, minus 115. And then A's to score first at plus 115. Topset says, is Larry on the binge? Oh, and also, sorry, the WNBA game. There was clear market movement towards the over after it was clear market movement towards the under, and I had 3 cappers that I respect very, very much in WNBA tell me to hammer this over. That is Isaac God, Ron Walsek, and David H. They all told me to hammer the over, and that's what I did. These are 2 bad teams. Dream, 1-8 on the road, 5-15. Fever, 6-15 overall, 2-8 at home. These teams combined lost 11 straight games. The Fever trying to avoid a club record 9th straight home loss. Pink Eye Genie took the Dream plus 5. Pink Eye Genie great at WNBA, and Von Polo, who's also great at WNBA, took the first half on the Fever. I don't want to mess with 2 shitty teams. Now, I mean, we have Wheeler coming back after hitting 7 threes in the All-Star game, winning the MVP honors. Great. Tiffany Hayes should be able to light up. She scored 28 against Indiana the first time that they met. She should be able to. They should be able to score. Both these teams should be able to score. I'm on the over 151 at minus 115 at Bet Online. Over 151 and a half. Over 151 and a half. Let's see what's going on right now with the full game total. And it's, wow, so it's coming back to the under again. Wow. So there's now other 151 and a halves on the board. And Bet Online's 151 and a half down to minus 112. I got it minus 115. So money coming back in on the under. I'm comfortable with it. JEM says, did you take anything on the Philly game? Yes, JEM. I took the under 9.5, and I wouldn't bet it now if I had the opportunity. Not saying that I would bet the other side, but seeing the market movement towards the over has made me a little uncomfortable. All right, that is this smaller Wednesday night card. And now, without further ado, who knows what we're going to get? Please welcome to the show, lucrative Larry. Oh, God. What the?
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Oh, God. Lucrative Larry, what up, man?
What up?
Yeah, watch
up
out for the
indeed? Oh,
camera
fuck.
there, you booze bag. Let me take a guess. You're wearing the same shirt as yesterday. You have my bottle of
Yep.
Jameson. So I'm guessing you.
Yep.
Okay. And you took my bottle of Jameson out of my desk?
Yep. Good to go. Oh, boy.
All right. Coco Bongo says Larry makes me uncomfortable. I'm not just going to let you hammer my bottle of Jameson in front of me.
One tip. Got more news on my Mexico.
What's that?
I told you we were going to have goats. Hey, baby, man.
Been good.
I told you we were going to have goats. We're going to have goat milking.
Goat milking.
I told you we were going to have stray dogs.
Yeah.
We're going to have stray dog races.
Stray dog racing.
Stray dog races. Stray dog races.
Wow,
Races.
okay.
Racing.
That's it?
And I told you we were going to have influencers, right? Did I not? Did I not?
You said that you
We
might have
did,
some
yeah, we
influencers,
did, right? When my Mexico excuse me. Cat?
He's just fucking with you, man.
Oh fuck, man!
Raph
I
knows
can't
your
even
hammer.
read this. Fucking
Okay,
bright.
you
This is so
influencer.
fucking bright, man. It smells
Okay,
wet in
all
here.
right. I know.
And
So-
we're gonna have an influencer.
Who is your influencer?
We're gonna have a talented boxer.
You have a boxer coming. Oh, nice. Probably a Mexican
got a-
boxer.
We got a boxer.
Okay. Well, let's hear. Who is it?
We're gonna have Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. We've been talking with the guy for a month already. We started talking a month ago, beginning of July, and it's all settled. Our agent, our publicist, talked with the guy, talked with their team, and it's a done deal.
I have some bad news for you, man.
What's the news?
2 weeks ago, Sweet Pea was crossing the street and got hit by a car, and he's dead.
What?
Yeah, you have no influencer. Sweet Pea's dead.
Are you kidding me?
No.
What? No, see, he's not dead.
Look it up.
Can you look it up?
Yeah. I mean,
He's
I'm
not dead. I'm not gonna take this.
This is not. People are not enjoying this. Isaac Hagen says, "Dude, just wrong." So Ulysses Hayes says, "Bro, he passed away last week." Here, I'll show you. July 14th, 2019. Wasn't it?
I'm out.
All right. I guess we got no play from Lucrative Larry. He went into my desk and pulled out the Jameson. All right. C-Dom says Mexico doesn't want Larry. Top Set says Larry looks like a shady Chihuahua breeding farmer. J. Peach says he looked genuinely surprised. He says in Virginia. Yeah. Well, I guess they lost their influencer. To all of you guys, thank you so much for watching. Am I whispering? Am I whispering? I'll stop whispering. I am whispering? Okay, bring it up. Okay. Sorry, I just broke Larry's heart. Headshot says, Jimmy, take a shot. End this show right. I will.
Guy's really dead.
Yeah. Leche, hey, those bookmakers!